Aloha, Lemurian Tribe. This is your Lemurian Tribe live session. I welcome you. I welcome you all, and I see your hearts. You're welcoming me and all the Lemurians, the light beings, everybody who's already showing up here for us today. Thank you so much. I see laughter, I see celebration, I see hearts, and I'm sending laughter, celebration, hearts, clapping, all of this out to you right now, wherever you are. If you're listening to the recording, you're getting it. Tap in. Woohoo! Oh gosh, we already got charged up in the lounge. So grateful for the beautiful beings who showed up in the lounge. Keep sending those hearts. Yes, yes, yes. You're helping setting the stage. And so we did in the lounge. We set the stage for all of you to be in this amazing energy field of unconditional love, of no judgment, and of service to the world. This is what Lemuria is. This is what the Lemurian tribe stands for. Helping light beings to do their work, which is their calling, better in the world because they're supported by their tribe, where there's unconditional love, where there's, I believe in you, I trust that you got this. I'm sending you energy because I'm tapped in, turned on like you are. I'm receiving your energy because I know you are tapped in, turned on. Yes, we're doing this together, and because we're doing it together, we are amplifying the love vibration that is the vibration the universe is built upon. And so we're attuning ourselves with that vibration. We become in tune with the universe, God, source, however you want to call it. And because we're in tune with it, every wish we do, every action we do, every step that happens is in such alignment that it can't but fulfill its highest purpose. This is what we're here for, and we need each other to do this. We can't do this alone. This is where the community comes in. This is where energy work comes in. You need your practice for that, yeah? So if you combine these two aspects and you add a third one, then you have the mix that creates excellence beyond human understanding, beyond the measurements and the thoughts and wishes we could possibly have with our minds. It's beyond that. We can move beyond any kind of paradigm, any kind of preconceived idea into the experience of our divine nature out pictures in this world, right? Because we're tuned in and tapped on into this quality, right? And when we're tuning into the quality of the highest and we're aligning with it, we have that power. Now there's this quality of togetherness, community, right? Which is what we're practicing right now, what you're practicing every month when you're coming to the Lemurian tribe. Thank you. I see your responses. And then there is this aspect of your spiritual practice. Now, everyone who is here on the tribe has a spiritual practice because we're wired into a physical body, into a physical environment, which has an effect on us. It's like you're constantly hearing really loud music, yeah? And those radio stations aren't producing the music we like. The world is not broadcasting love, togetherness, success, being for each other, win-win solutions. It's there, but it's not the main thing the world is broadcasting. Would you agree? The main thing, what is the main thing the world is broadcasting? It's really fear, yeah? You guessed it. And you can see it in the media, you can see it even in the advertisement. You need to buy this sort of this set of pants, you need to buy this drink because, you know, that'll make you a certain way or that'll make you succeed. But it's all fear-based. Oh gosh, I'm not good enough, I guess, without this. Oh, maybe, you know, I don't fit in. Maybe I'm not loved. Those are all fears. And we want to avoid the fears. And so we're filling ourselves up with this conditioned actions, yeah? Or things that we attract or buy. Right? So that's what the world is made of. The world is made of a lower vibration that's really manipulative and based in fear. And of course, that's not who our true self is. Nobody's true self lives there. But we are in this body and we're receiving these broadcasts all the time, and our brain receives the electromagnetic information, and then it translates it into memories or thoughts or experiences, and therefore we're constantly in it. It's like it's if you're in this big loud music, right? And it's really hard when you're in big loud music that you don't like to think classical Mozart or, hum a song you love. It's really hard. Have you tried it? And so that's where the spiritual practice comes in. We need a spiritual practice that is so strong that it helps us focus so strongly that we can sing that Mozart song when the big loud music is playing. Yeah. Because as soon as we sing the Mozart song, which is my example for, being in tune with that higher quality that I was talking about, then we can create from our innermost energy, which I call soul frequency. And from that energy, we are now only creating what is completely aligned. It's not possible to create anything not aligned when you're in that vibration. Yeah. And then it's good for everyone. It's good for your neighbor, your friend, your partner, your family, the world. Because alignment is alignment. You can't create out of alignment and create misalignment. It's impossible. Yeah. I see your responses. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for doing that. So I can feel you, right? And if you're listening to the recording, respond to me. Send me a text, send something on WhatsApp, say, this is where that landed, what you just said, or I had an experience that reflected that. Yeah, because you're feeding me, I'm feeding you, and the universe is feeding all of us, right? So it's this community aspect that is strengthened that way. So coming back to the spiritual practice, it has to be so strong that it overrides the loud noise. Yeah. Now coming back into the community from there, it's like a weaving in and out. It's a network, is that we help each other to do that. Like we meditate in the morning together. I know that the people who live here will show up, and because I know they show up, I'll show up easier. It's like, I'm tired today, I might not meditate. Well, they're going to show up, I better be there, right? So it actually helps if you have a community that's like-minded. And many of us don't have that. We don't live with necessarily like-minded people, or we don't have a lot of friends who can understand this high vibrational work. So we come together here. We come together on WhatsApp. Don't take that lightly when there's like something written in WhatsApp. People are really trying. They're really putting their hearts out, and they're really saying, I'm tapping into this field. And not only am I getting something from the field, I'm also giving you an opportunity to tune into what's happening through me. Yeah. And we're doing it through the buddies. So we have that. This is the network. Now, what is the third piece? What is the third piece that makes this so stable? Yeah. And thank you for those who are live, and thank you also for those who are active on WhatsApp in the buddy group. Yeah. And if you're not, and don't discount that. Don't think, oh, maybe I'm not doing the right thing. No. See if there's some inspiration where you feel, okay, maybe I could dare, maybe I could put myself out there, maybe I could, listen more, and if it's not feeling inspired, then don't do it. If it's out of fear because I have to fit in, because I have to, no, we don't need that. We don't need that. Yeah. You're perfectly fine just in the background if you're inspired to do that. Okay. Now, the third piece is service. Yeah. It's our work, our calling, how it actually goes out into the world, and how it is created, how the action gets put into that. Yeah, I love the word out picture. It's from Michael Beckwith, my teacher, and he says how it out pictures in the world. It's just perfect word. It's the perfect word. So it's how your life calling out pictures in the world. That's the service. Because if you look deep into your heart, you will find that there's only satisfaction to be found deep satisfaction when you were able to bring your soul's frequency, and therefore your soul's calling, out into the world. Let it land somewhere where it will make a difference, where it will be received, where the gift that you are sharing is honored. Do you agree? That's what we all came here for. People are saying, oh, what's my calling? And I need to find my calling. Yeah, you need to find your calling, but your calling can change all the time. If you have a little baby, your calling will be you're a mom or a dad, and if you have a sick family member, your calling will be to serve them. If you are a teenager and you're in the in some kind of basketball league or so, your calling will be that. Your calling is not so much what you do in the outer world as much as it is from where you're coming when you're doing it. It needs to be aligned with your soul signature, soul frequency. Yeah. As soon as you're aligned, then you're bringing that forth. You're tapping into an infinite. You're tapping into an infinite well of energy. And that well is connected to the infinity of all that is because of that alignment that I talked about earlier, right? And because it is so aligned and it has so much power because it's your 100% match, all you do, all your energy, all your force, all your thoughts, all your actions, they just want to go there. That's where they want to go naturally because that's who you are, right? So that has the most power. But then, because you do that action, there's some fulfillment there that is the deepest fulfillment we can ever feel as humans. And when it lands with somebody, when your gift lands with somebody, like somebody receives your help, or, you created a project that helps the world, or you did your job well, and now this keeps on rolling the way it should. Yeah, or you repaired a car and now people can drive with it, or you fix a dishwasher, whatever it is. If you did it, not out of fear, not out of obligation, but by tapping into that quality of who you are and how you are uniquely bringing your gift to this task, then you're doing it out of service. And that serviceful energy, once it lands in the physical and it's being received in whichever way that looks, that deep fulfillment comes to you. Have you ever had that? You did something, a small task, like, for example, I fixed a motorbike. I mean, that's really not my calling, right? Yeah, I see these thumbs coming up. If you're listening to the recording, just letting you know, lots of thumbs are coming up, lots of, a celebration, hats are coming up and hearts and stuff. So feel that with me. Yeah, so I fixed a motorbike and that isn't my calling. But the deep satisfaction came from the fact that how I did it. And here's how I did it. I mean, I don't know if you've heard the story before. I was on a vacation with my dear friend Birgit, and we had the motorbike. We rented a motorbike so we could go to the other side of the island in Cyprus. So we went to the other side of the island and swam there, big waves, amazing energy. But we had to be back on our side of the island at a certain time, like 6 o'clock at night or something, for a beautiful outside opera that we had tickets for. Now, I've never been to outside opera. I was very excited. And then the motorbike didn't start, right? So, of course, who would have guessed it? We were late. It wasn't like we had half an hour time. We were already late for the opera, so everything had to line up for us. When we're driving, it couldn't be the normal driving. It had to be the lined up driving, where the traffic lights are always green, where people move out of the way if they're slower, where you're like just streaming smoothly down the river without obstacles. That's the kind of drive we needed and we set our minds to. And we usually get it because of that alignment. And so then we meditated to decide that we're going to get that right. And we're done with that. We're totally aligned. And then we're coming to the motorbike and it's not starting. Nothing, not making a noise. Like, oh gosh. So I asked Archangel Michael, because I know Archangel Michael is the best angel to call on for anything electric or electronic. And it can be mechanical too. But mechanical, like that. So I'm like, Archangel Michael, help me. How can I fix this motorbike? And so close my eyes. My friend, she already knows this because this is how we're operating. So I'm sitting there, she's meditating with me, and we're trying to conceive what we need to do with the motorbike. And then I see a picture of myself, a video, like in my mind's eye, of how I'm walking to the motorbike, and he points to me, Archangel Michael, where I need to bang on the motorbike. I'm like, banging? Since when can you fix a motorbike by banging on it? Well, gotta get a big rock, right? So I got my big rock, and I'm banging on this motorbike exactly where he showed me. There's this silver square thing. So I'm bang. And then I look at my friend, and my friend Birgit, she was absolutely convinced the motorbike is going to start now. So that, of course, helped, right? Because she helped the field. Like if I had somebody with me who's like, oh, you're crazy, it's never going to work, which I have had that, and it actually didn't work. And I know everything was aligned for this machine to start, but the other person, they can go out of alignment. And if they're the ones who need to drive it or are with you, then they're counterbalancing that alignment. Okay. So she was totally aligned with me, and I'm banging on this thing, and here we go. We made it. We made it on time. So, but the way we did it was in alignment with our calling. Yeah. Which is complete living life, completely guided by the higher realms. Yeah. So that's aligned. So then I would clean the toilet like that, or whatever I need to do. And if I can tap into that type of service, everything will come out good. If I'll make the tea or the breakfast or the toilet cleaning in got to, which I, of course, I'm tempted to do all the time because of that loud music, right? That I talked about earlier, that whole brainwashing experience of how planet Earth operates, yeah, then it's not my calling. You see? Okay, so let's take a few moments right now and tap into that energy of what you feel is your soul signature. Now, how do you do that? You're tapping into a quality, which is usually a feeling or a way of feeling things, experiencing things, that's very dear to your heart. It's like, I love it when I feel that way. Tap into that. Let me know when you have it, but just one thumb up, only one. Half of us have it. So the other half, think of something that when you see it with other people, when they do that kind of action, you feel really touched. Okay. Now that's your soul signature quality, at least in one way. Yeah, out pictures in one way. It may show up in different ways. And if you do any kind of activity with that quality, then you're immediately aligning to your higher self. You're immediately aligning to the forces of the universe. Yeah? Nature balance, the universal balance, the divine balance. All these balances, they are a balance. And if you have a balance together with a balance, you can only create balance, right? So as soon as you tap into one balance, you tapped into all of the balances, all the way up, all the way down. Now, how powerful is that? That's why nature always recreates itself, always comes back into balance, because it never goes out of that alignment. The outside may look differently. The trees get cut or burned, or there's concrete over the grass, all of these things. But the balance that nature emits and sits in, deeply rooted in, is always the same, and it's always balanced. So that power of that balance is connected to the power of all the balances of everywhere, of the infinite. And therefore, it can grow through concrete. It can recover in any situation. Not so human bodies or humans, unless we are, now, because we have a free will, we need to actually do that consciously. And that's where the spiritual practice, the community comes in, those two aspects. If we are tuned in, the same thing happens for us. That's how people don't age. That's how people recover from illnesses or diseases or problems that are so-called insurmountable, just because they align themselves 100% with that quality. Now, if you come together in a community, you can help each other with that. And that's why Jesus said, and many other masters said, that the new awakening won't be one person awakening like Jesus did, Buddha did, Muhammad did, right? It'll be a whole community. Awakening will happen through communities. Yeah? Good. Now, the topic today, which it took a long time to come around, but we're in it. We're already totally marinating in it. Yeah. The topic today is confidence, the Lemurian way. Now, where do you think comes confidence into that picture? What we just talked about. Take a moment and think about it. What does that have to do with confidence? Yeah. So the problem with confidence is that we think there's something outside of us that we need to have, either learn or create or get, so that we can exude it. Yeah, we want to have confidence. We want to look like we're confident, but we're trying to find out, okay, what do I need? Do I need skills to be confident? Have you tried it? I know many people who are very, very skilled and they're not confident, and they'll tell me, I need to know more so I could be confident. Well, they're already knowing like 30% more than anybody else, right? Yeah, you can relate to that. I see it. Okay, so it's not knowledge. Is it charisma? Well, people who have amazing charisma, I think it's how you say it in English, like actors, they often don't have a lot of confidence. It can't be that either. Is it beauty? Do you know of a few people who are very, very beautiful and who feel they don't have any self-worth? They're often even suicidal. That happens to models. You'd think, oh my gosh, a model, they must be super confident, right? They got it made. They can have whatever they want. Well, and they're very often suicidal because all of these things, there's something in the outside that we're trying to bring in order to exude something that is not connected at all to the outside. So it's never going to work, right? It's as if you want to fill a glass with apple juice, right? And you're bringing the apple juice and you want to fill the glass, but the glass has a hole. and it just goes out and out and out and out, and it never collects it. Yeah, because in this example, where the confidence comes from is from the well, and the well is deep inside. And so that apple juice, if that example was correct, would come from the well from the bottom, would fill the glass from the bottom up. That's the only way this glass can be full. Now, how do we tap into that? So if we can't be confident because we have something to show, something to say, we are loved, we're appreciated, if all of these things don't matter, they can't give us confidence, what can give us confidence? And that's where the Lemurian way comes in. Yeah? Because there's two ways of how you can get it. You can get it in a, let's say, linear male way. That would maybe be an Atlantean way if we go in the mystics, but also just here. That would be you're practicing with your thoughts that you think good about yourself, good thoughts. And you're like, I love myself, I appreciate myself. You do mirror work and you just train yourself into that quality. Yeah? That is an approach that works because you're working on the inside. It's a linear approach. You're building on something, and it's in a way a male approach. Yeah. Now the Lemurian approach is a female approach because in Lemuria we lived as one, and we didn't have a physical body, so we're tuned into each and every one at all times. If you're not in a physical body, then you're an energy field. And if an energy field comes together with another energy field, there's no boundary. Like if I come close to you, we'll bump into each other, right? And if we were intimate and close, we would touch. And if not, we'll have a certain distance, right? Now in Lemuria, same thing, you can have a certain distance, but if you come close, you actually merge. Yeah? Now the mergers of this world are often the angels or Lemurian beings. They're trying that in this world, and it's difficult to do because we're trying to merge with a field that is not 100% aligned with our soul quality. And therefore, we're getting all of that, and they getting all of ours, and that causes friction. So you don't want to have that, yeah? But what instead is the right approach, and is very effective. It's very effective, and it plays into what we just talked about. Remember, we talked about attuning our energy to that higher order. Yeah? Now, the way to be confident, the Lemurian way, and how the dolphins show it to us, is they attune to their soul frequency, to who they really are. Now, when they attune to that, they are attuning to the harmony of all that is, like I said earlier, when I gave the example with the grass growing. Yeah? And as we're attuned to that higher order, confidence exudes out of us. Yeah? We might not even know what we're talking about. Like, I didn't know how to repair a motorbike, or I don't even know what I'm saying right now because I'm just letting it flow. I have no single idea what the next sentence is going to be, right? So it's not you need to know something or you need to be good at something. You know, I might not be good at what I'm doing, but I am attuning to my soul frequency, which is attuned to your soul frequency, which is attuned to all souls frequencies, which is attuned to God and the universe and all that is, right? So if you hear me speak, I'm activating you. It's not about the words. It's not about who I am at all. It's about how you're being activated right now. How your soul frequency is starting to stir and starting to respond and starting to wake up and get stronger and stronger so you can live it more. And that's what feels so good. Yeah? Does it feel good? Share with me. Yeah, so if you're listening to the recording, I'm seeing all these thumbs and hearts come up. Yeah, how do you feel when you hear me? Yeah, it's not about Aria, you know? Even for me, it's not about Aria. It's about that attunement. Yeah. And so when we attune to our soul frequency, thank you for your response, then that internal part and eternal part gets stirred and gets activated, and the power of the universe is at your hands. And you can do the good in the world you came here to do. And this is what it is about. Now, how confident are you about that? That the universe or God can work through you? That let's call it God. If you need a different word, just replace it with source or love. It's, I'm talking about the force that's behind all things and that creates all things. So, do you believe that God can create excellence and nothing but excellence? And do you believe God can work through you? I see you. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a logical thing to believe. And if God can work through you, where are the limits? There are no limits. The only thing you need to do, and that's the important part, and I'm coming back to what I said in the beginning for that, is to align, completely align, or tune, it's the same, with your soul frequency, with who you really are. And a pathway into that, if you don't know exactly what your calling is, or if you don't know exactly, what is now my soul frequency, we can work together and get there. You can do a master's training with me and we'll totally go there. But for now, just choose a quality that is so beautiful to you that it wants you to cry. It's like, oh my God, I love this. Yeah. Because that is 100% aligned with your soul frequency. Some of you have joy. I know a few I have in mind right now who I know their soul frequency is joy. Yeah. Others is love. I'm thinking of others here in the call, Others are peace. I see you, you're popping up. I know it's peace for some of you. So we have different qualities that are really our soul frequencies. Yeah. But we're tuning into that. And because we're tuning into it, the power is so strong that we can do anything in the world. And now I'm happy that we are light workers here and that we are people who want to do good in the world. Because you can use that also to not do good in the world and create havoc. So you want to do good in the world. What is good? Good is something that is aligned and is beneficial for everyone involved. That's just the definition. Yeah. It's beneficial for everyone involved. And so what can we do together? And we're going to do that in the energy work. We're going to tap into that confidence that comes from this alignment. And then we're going to bring that out. And we're going to send this into areas in our lives and in the world. And specifically, I hope we can send it to Afghanistan and Haiti, Israel, places that really need our help today. Yeah. And send that positive alignment so it can hit these minds and souls and hearts in the right way so they can boom, lock back into their alignment as well. Yeah. And as a group, we're very powerful. Now, I want to say, ending here, and then I have a beautiful announcement, that when we are tapping into that quality, our spiritual practice, like I mentioned earlier, and the community factor with who I hang out with, who I spend most of my time with and communicate about these things, who supports me, are super, super important for that service to be the best you can give. Yeah. So community talked about at length, but spiritual practice, the spiritual practice, what the heck are we going to do, right? Thank you for your response here. But what is a good spiritual practice and what's not, and there's so many out there. And of course, there's so many out there and it needs to be in alignment with what you feel is right and not what your ego thinks is right and not jumping from one thing to the next, right? But of course, I have a practice that I recommend. right? And I recommend it because I know it brings a few things in. It brings, one, a stability and a way to actually bring these higher vibrations into physical manifestation so that we can practically use them on planet Earth. So the practical aspect is just super, super important in my opinion. Yeah. It doesn't help anybody if we're in a cave and we're meditating. Not much. It helps the mass consciousness, but those times are over. The yogis did that. Some are still doing that because they needed to help mass consciousness and people couldn't respond to any kind of teaching or action in the world. Yeah, now we can. People are opening up. Okay, thank you. I see all your responses. Yes, it's totally fine to be gay, transgender, transsexual, whatever. It's fine to be black, white, all of that. It's fine to have different opinions. Women can vote. All of that stuff we had to work hard for to even get to. So the minds were so closed to what's common sense that it took some time for that opening to happen. Spirituality is now a thing you can talk about. New Age is a thing you can talk about. Meditation, everybody knows about. So is yoga. So now we have an openness. We don't need to be caves to change mass consciousness. Now we need to be out in the world and bring these higher vibrations into physical manifestation so that they actually work. Yeah. So that's an aspect that I think is super important. Another aspect I think is important, that you are protected when you're working in these higher realms and with these higher energies. Yeah. So that the influences that are just there as well, like they're here on planet Earth, that are maybe against a positive movement, don't have an effect on you. Yeah. Just like here, I'm saying, don't watch the TV all the time. Definitely don't watch the news. If you have to watch the news, watch them consciously and turn them off. Don't have anything in the background running because that programs you. That's a protection. Yeah. I'm also saying, or everybody's saying, it's not me, but we're saying we wear some clothes so we don't get sunburn or cold, right? So there are factors that we do in the physical world. Such are factors also in the higher realms. So those are two things that I think are super important. Number three is the connection with the other light beings. Yeah, all the way up to your higher self, but starting with your guardian angels and the angel realm or the fairies or just energy of things, to start to connect with that. Yeah. Now, if you bring these three things together, then you really have the path that I like to teach and offer, right? Just because I think it's very, very effective. I've seen it super effective in my life over many years and with other people. And you get to a point where you can live your life most of the time attuned to your higher self, to your soul frequency, and therefore you're tapped in to the biggest, most strongest power there is. That's a positive force. I call it God. That force moves every obstacle out of the way and gets everything done in no time. If you are of service, then that force is used for the good of all, and that's really what we're here for. Now, this is powerful stuff. And the spiritual practice is necessary in order to move up on that scale with your mind, with all the receptors in the brain, with your nervous system, so you can consciously do it. You can kind of stay in the body while you're doing that and then use it. And it's also necessary for your whole energy field to attune to higher vibration, so you can start connecting with your higher self. And lastly, it's important to be able to hold these super high vibrations. So you really move slowly up on that scale, just like, you build a muscle. You can't go and pick up something really, really heavy and, say, I'm going to pick it up without hurting yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. Yeah. Or you're not able to pick it up, boom, and then you're discouraged and you say, oh my gosh, I can't do it. No, that's not the way to do it. You work up to it And that makes it fun. I mean, it's so fun to start lifting weights and more and more and more, right? And you can see you can do it. You set yourself up for success. And so this brings me magically, I hadn't planned that, but it brings me to this announcement of our certification system. And we have a absolutely magnificent, wonderful, and very clear, thanks to the help of Mary Ann, who came on board and helped me structure your path really well. We have created a certification path that is fun and that is absolutely aligned with success for you, where you can 100% have little success spots along the way, enjoy the journey, and get to a place, where you are connecting with your higher self all the way up until you reach a level where you constantly live from your higher self. And that is what we're offering for free. How much does it cost? Nothing. Well, we thought about it a long time, and you know, the last course that's in there is $1,000, and all the courses that come with that is altogether $500. So this whole thing all by itself just costs $1,500. But that doesn't count the teaching, that doesn't count the setup, it doesn't count all the structure that comes, the badges, the certificates. So there's a lot going into this. But why are we offering this for free? And there's one reason and one reason only. And that is, I really went into it, and you know I've had a little bit of struggle with deciding whether I wanted to continue the membership or not, right? Because it is a commitment. And, you know, it's built on response, because, you know, I need you to love it and respond to it and grow with it in order for my soul's calling to be actualized and that fulfillment to be there, right? So, and the fulfillment comes when I see you thrive with it. If it's not necessary or it doesn't help you, then my work wouldn't be worth it. So I've been working with that, and you've given me a lot of feedback. Thank you so much. A lot of good feedback. And you really shared how much this membership matters to you and how much it does for you. Yeah. So it's worth for me. And then we said, well, if it's worth for you, Aria, then make it even better. And here's the thing. Memberships, which is a community, the community is that powerful motor that I talked about for half an hour. And if it's that powerful motor, and if I believe it, and if I know, if I can help you to tap into that God power so strongly that your life and whatever you do in your life will help the world so much better, and your fulfillment in return will be so much higher, then it's worth my time, effort, it's worth everything. Yeah. And then I don't need the money back. What I would need is more people, right? Because if we're doing this and if we're really helping everybody evolve, right, then of course we need to give that to the world. Of course we need to help more people to get that, because the effort we put in, you showing up here, me creating these things, our team in the background, it's the same if it's for 30 people, 100 or 100,000 people, right? But it's so useful and it helps so many people. So here's why I decided I'm not going to charge for that. I want to reward you for being a member. I want to reward you for being the pioneer to be here and to hold space for this and to continue. Yeah? That's why I want to charge you. I want to reward you for doing the work, and I want to make it possible for so many more people to come in and get that excellent, exquisite possibility of landing their life's calling so grounded in this world that it grows roots and it grows a beautiful tree that bears fruit to many. And that's why this is worth it for me. Okay. Now I hope you're on board. Marianne is coming, and she's gonna show you the steps Do you want to see the steps real quick before we go in the energy session? Oh yeah, awesome. Good. Here's our dear Marianne. Thank you so much, Marianne.
Hi.
Oh, thank you so much for showing up and doing that. Now she's going to do a screen share. I'm going to hide myself.
Entire screen.
Actually, never mind. I can't hide myself. Otherwise, I can't talk to you. Bear with us, please. She's so much better at this stuff than I am. I messed up big time just in the last meeting I had. I showed my screen. Oh my gosh. All my bank account statements, everything was on there. Total mess. So, that's why I said, Marianne, can you do this? Okay, here it is. Become a certified light worker. This is how we called it because it does help in this world if you have a certification. And why do we call it light worker? Because people understand more what this word means compared to, contact your higher self and live your life guided by the higher self. But that's what we're going for. The light worker lives their lives guided by the higher self, which is how the Lemurians used to live. Okay? No. Can you make it bigger? Okay, I think I have it big. I hope people can see it big now. So as a certified light worker, you are able to access your higher self. Here it is. Live your life informed by your higher self so you can bring the biggest blessing to the world in whatever you do, right? It doesn't need to be light work. It doesn't need to be energy work. You're an engineer, you're a musician, you are a dancer, you are a teacher, you are a mechanic, you are a maintenance person, you are a housekeeper, whatever you are, right? In your personal and in your professional life. Enjoy health, wealth, soul level fulfillment that comes from sharing your gift with the world and making the world a better place. Now, we're doing this already in the Lemurian tribe, but I'm going to give you clear steps as far as your spiritual practice goes. And I've heard a lot of questions on WhatsApp and confusion. What's the spiritual practice we need to do? That's going to get solved. Yeah. You will achieve success badges, which mark your progress on the path to your certificate. And that is just for your fun. That's so we can get a badge and we can actually really pat ourselves on the shoulder and say, you know what? I went that way and I got that. Okay. Now, this is what your success badge number 1 will entail. You're probably asking, hey, okay, tell me, what do I need to do to get to the first batch? Or what do I get to do? And I want you to look at this like this is all stuff we're giving you. This is stuff you're receiving for free, and it enables you to be more solid in that attunement. So some of you have started this, gratefully so, your morning routine, created and maintained with your commitment to that routine, to continue. Your evening practice, your evening routine, which are the evening and morning immersions that you're going to get. Right now, you access them through Silvana, but we're going to give them to you as your own product. And then you also listen to a minimum of 3 recorded sessions from the library. Now, you is listening to me live right now, you got this already, right? You've been live. And if you are listening to the recording, then this recording that you're hearing right now counts as 1. So this will get you success badge number 1, which is, the third badge. Success badge number 2 is the silver badge. Bronze badge, silver. And there, the same thing happens. You continue your practice that you had in batch number 1, of course, right? But now we're adding the Living Your Highest and Best course. And many of you have done that already. And if you've done all of this, you're already eligible for the success batch number 2. Yeah. But it is only then, and this is your own judgment, if you're really using the tools that are taught in Living Your Highest and Best, because that is the base practice that totally changes your vibration and your physical structure, your nervous system, and your energy structure to hold this high vibration. So it's basically the next level of lifting those weights. Yeah. So you want to have that implemented as a regular practice, no brainer, like brushing your teeth. And of course, morning and evening routine. And you will have listened to minimum 6 of these sessions because they hold these valuable tools. And we're going to tell you exactly which ones. So that's a real path that you're guided to. And in this case, I would highly recommend you do that again. Yeah? Listen to those again and double check if you have everything implemented in the Living Your Highest and Best course. And if not, redo those sessions. Okay? How do you like that? Oh gosh, I love it. I see your hearts. Ah, thank you. Good. Now, Marianne, success badge number 3. That entails the morning and evening routine, the Living Your Highest and Best course, and the minimum of 10 recorded sessions that are guiding you in very high vibrational realms where you're now there. You're in such a level that you can be awake in theta consciousness. That means you can talk with your higher self without falling asleep. You're now there where your body is more healthy, vibrating, stronger, where your immune system is strong. You're there now where you are grounded so you can bring these insights from the higher selves into planet Earth and implement them. You're now solidly already living as a blessing to this planet, and you're living your calling. Yeah? Now, from there, once you have that, the golden badge, you're now eligible. Marianne is going to show this to the access for the superhero training. Now, the superhero training, some of you came in through that. So if you did come in through that, you're going straight to your certification here. But I'd like you to tap into this and look at, okay, from this sequence, where am I still missing stuff? Yeah, this is your opportunity to re-listen and redo the session. It's not listening, it's becoming different. The superhero course changes your DNA, it changes your vibration, and it changes your chemistry in the brain and the nervous system, so you can see in the inner realms, hear the inner realms. You can receive the messages more clearly, and when you go into action, because you're tapped into the earth energy, your action is aligned with the highest that I talked about earlier. Yeah? The superhero course will get you there, and it'll also create a channel to your higher self so you can start from this moment on living your life informed by your higher self. That is the beginning of that high level living where I want everybody on the Lemurian tribe to get to. Once you're there, you get all 3 badges and the certificate. Now you're certified light worker under our branch, which gives you some credibility. Yeah. But this is where the real fun then takes off. So it's basically like a pilot training. Yeah. You're training to be a pilot, and now you're taking off with your airplane. You got your certificate. Now you can fly. Everything that comes from here will build onto that. In the tribe, in the live sessions, your nervous system will respond to that differently, and you will see what it means to be living your life from the higher self. But that's not where it stops. You also have the opportunity for beautiful roles in the Lemurian tribe. So you can volunteer to be a buddy for new members, help them. You can present to the tribe. You can teach a session in accordance to we work on that together. You can guest host for the tribe, like what Marianne is doing right now. You arrange for guest speakers, you gather stories from tribe members and present to the tribe. You can take on the WhatsApp group, you can take on a certain time period, you can bring in your ideas. Yeah. Additionally, you may post your certification on your website and use the badges for marketing or any publications. And you can refer to me, Ariel Lorenz, in order to enhance your credibility and reach. Now, how much do you love that? I really hope you like it. And I can see the hearts. And if you're listening to the recording, if this is something you love, really let me know. Just send me a quick note. Okay? Thank you so much. So this is coming to you next week. And thank you, Marianne, so much for helping us to see this and present. Look at the responses. Oh my gosh, this is over the top. Thank you so much. This is over the top. Thank you. Oh, I love it. Okay, so that's going to be super exciting. And oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're working with the best of the best actually in the background to bring that to you. And when I say the best of the best, I mean it. It's amazing. And I hope I can reveal that. I need to find out first before I reveal with who we're working. But it's going to be awesome. Lastly, I'm going to move away from AirMeet because of our people who are on mobile. AirMeet promised that they would be mobile ready within a few months. It's been a year. They haven't been. So we're going to move over to different platform where we can all be together in a more comprehensive way, but we'll still be able to meet with each other and talk. Okay? Good. So these are the announcements. Now we're ready to go into the energy work. I want to quickly see your responses here. Terry says, yes, your energy sparkles. Oh, thank you. Yes, yes, yes to all. Bless you. You're in the light. Wonderful. Okay. Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. So that's awesome. Good. Thank you. And now I'm going to get you into the energy session. So what we're going to do today is we're going to tap into that energy of your soul frequency. And then we're going to access it through attunement, not through doing and thinking and training, but through attuning ourselves with that quality of confidence that is already within us. And we're bringing it up from the well, so it exudes out of us into an area where we need confidence. And then we're going to send it to the world, into all these places where people need that connection to their soul signature, where they're losing hope, where they're losing inner power, where they're in despair. We're going to send that. Okay, you with me? I'm going to get you into the lounge for a moment. And please, if you're on your computer, this is your moment where you get to hit speed networking and you're going to connect one-on-one with another beautiful tribe member, and you're going to share with them your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings about what you just heard. Yeah, I'm going to get you in for 6 minutes, and then I'm going to take you back out into the energy session. So the 6 minutes is so you have 3 minutes each to share. Yeah, first you start with your name, maybe who you are, and then one person shares for 2 minutes, the other person shares for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to bring you back in stage. If you don't want to do that, you can sit on a table as well and share on a table, but then you have less time because there are more people. Or if you're on your mobile, which Terry is, Jeannie is, then chat with each other and share that for a moment. So, and I'll respond to you. I'll be with the people in the chat, on mobile, and you guys on computer are together now. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your responses, and I'll see you in the energy work. Aloha.